Claymore. What do you think about the Red Pill group? Are they equated to Jeffrey Epstein or not?
I mean, I wouldn't go that far in saying that they're related to Jeffrey Epstein, but would I say the Red Pill community goes, I think I guess appealing to radical individuals, I would say yeah. Do they probably say a lot of like truthful things or things that could help in reality? I agree, but I mean, they might say it like a little bit like hyperbolically, or like they might frame it sort of weird. Like, what would you say? Do you think they're something that is good, or they're a little out
So
there?
kind of just like the feminist movement, they're full of shit, kind of to me.
Really,
Just a little bit, yeah, like all the way.
all the way, like all of
Yeah,
them?
not all of them, just the movement as a whole. I don't really see the appeal.
Well, how do you not see the appeal? I mean, I think they're
Well,
very appealing to especially
well,
young men out there.
they're appealing to young men, but they're also appealing to people that really haven't thought about the gender issues thoroughly enough, though.
Well,
It's kind of like me waving a little shiny $5 toy and telling this kid it's worth gold.
what are those gender issues, though?
I would say, let's see, higher suicide within the male community, but I'm pretty sure females attempt it more often. Men are just more violent in terms of suicide.
Yeah, but we succeed
Men
because we're
have,
men.
yeah, yeah, XY chromosomes for a reason. But
True.
yeah, we also work way more dangerous jobs. There's also a rising loneliness epidemic that's pretty much causing men to be lonelier as a whole.
True.
This having asexually frustrated male population is never a good sign in a country.
And how do you
Yeah.
suppose we like fix that? Like, is it going to be red pill or is it going to be something else?
I think we should implement something that is more akin to reforming the way we socialize. Um, for example, so back in the day, okay, we lived in villages around 500, but back in the day, we also died from freaking cholera. But everybody knew everybody, right? It was a simple social system that worked. Um, yeah, people were typically more social. We didn't really have the option to be recluse in our bedroom.
True.
We all, yeah, so many people had higher social skills back in the day. Don't get me wrong, there are a bunch of eccentrics nowadays too, but back in the day, you had to be an eccentric.
I would agree with that. I like that. So basically, you just want people to socialize more. That's really what I'm hearing.
Psychologically speaking, yeah, that pretty much just solve it. I feel like we should also fix the social issues with the with like how men and women interact as a whole. Men can come off as more creepy sometimes because we're like we're like typically 50% bigger and stronger.
Well, I mean,
So
I think you're looking at this as like a total reform type thing. I'm more or less looking at this as like little changes you can make in your life to vastly improve it. And I think that's what like the red pill community tries to do, but a lot of people misinterpret that.
well, yeah, but I kind of find it like the self-help books you find in the store. Once you get into it, you get more addicted to it, and then you find yourself digging into more of it.
So, like, would you say it's more like the Jordan Peterson effect? Like, you find his self-help stuff in like 2016, but you're still watching it like 8 years later, and you still haven't helped yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. These men are going to be like, "Oh, that's how I get a woman," right? But then they're never going to talk to the local woman in their cafe.
I would kind of agree, but I would also say that I think if you watch enough informative stuff, you'll eventually try to implement that stuff within your life if you care about it a lot. If you don't really care about it, which honestly, I think the reason why the male virginity rate is, at its highest point right now, at least for young men, is more to an extent of what they don't care about versus, because they're not really trying. I don't even think they want to try, it seems.
Interesting. Well, this kind of comes down to the fact that we're more depressed in this era.
I agree.
And the lack of social skills.
I don't think if you're not even making the effort to go outside of your room and talk to people, then I don't think you really want what you're trying to achieve.
Like me personally, I will socialize with anybody pretty much.
Yeah, true.
as long as you're not like a jerk or something. But like secretly, I like very few people. You know, um, on Discord I like many people. Real life, the people are just something else.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So, like, you don't
yeah.
socialize with a lot of people in real life, you're saying, or you just don't
No,
like
I
to?
socialize with I socialize with a lot of people. It's just I only like a few people, and I keep everybody else as an acquaintance, kind of.
Oh, okay.
So like basically, it's kind of like keep your friend enemy as your friend, friend's enemy as a friend, kind of deal. I don't know. I don't know. I just
Oh,
find it easy to have acquaintances.
well, okay. So, like, if we're taking that framework of relationships, then how would your framework of how you deal with your relationships connect with, like, I don't know, getting women or something?
I don't know. Just talk to them. Like let's just say you're working a job, right, and you have a coworker. You're
Hmm.
like, just like speak with them. You know, get to know them. Don't be creepy. And there you go.
Well, I mean, see, that's not really good advice because you're just saying, oh, just speak to them and don't be creepy. Well, how do you do that?
Just be calm, really. Um, what's another thing? I don't know. How would I explain it? Just speak to them. I don't know. Like it's always just came naturally to me.
Well, see, that's the thing is that a lot of people, like, let's say if you grew up the way you did, you know, and you socialized with a lot of people throughout your life, then it's going to be quite easy for you to interact with people because you've been doing it your whole life. But there's some people who grow up, like on video games now more than ever, that don't know how to interact with people in life. And not interacting with people in life, you know, they get to these later teenage years or early adult years and they have no idea what the fuck they're doing. And when you have no idea what the fuck you're doing, then just hearing that advice, don't be creepy and just talk to someone, is not really going to work for that person because they haven't socialized throughout their life and they need to build it from the ground up.
Well, no, I disagree because okay, so just like socializing, you have to build it up from the groundwork, like you said, right? And if you're starting later off, you have to talk to way more people than you would have ever in your life, which
Mm-hmm.
means you have to go outside your comfort zone. Not many
Mm-hmm.
people are willing to do that for a prolonged period of time.
Yeah, but you can do
People
that
like
a lot more than other people, right? And you're not even going out of your comfort zone when you go talk to people because you've been doing it for so long. These people that are legitimately lonely virgins out there are, you know, just talking to someone is out of their comfort zone.
yeah, I feel like there should be more help towards that though. Like they should sort that with. That's why therapists should probably become more readily available, right?
Well, yeah, but
They're
isn't that
able to
what the
help
red
get
pill
these
community
type of
is
things up.
trying to do? Like the pill
Yeah, they're
community is
trying to do
trying
that,
to do that.
but they also breed radicals, in my opinion. And just like the feminist movement, right? I don't think it's really needed to that extent.
So you don't think that the red pill community is needed, and it doesn't because it doesn't help the male population.
Yeah, if an organization doesn't help, right, then I don't think it should be there.
I would say they help. I mean, I think they give genuinely okay advice. Now, some of their advice is pretty bad, but I mean, at least like their main points. You know, let me list off their main points. So the main points of the red pill community is like, okay, so as a man, you want to attract a woman. How do you do that? You need status. How do you get status? You got to have money. So probably the first thing you should focus on is your job, make some money, get some status. That'll be the first thing. Second thing is don't be a fat piece of shit. So go to the gym, work out, eat right, you know, do that shit. And then the third thing is just talk to women, socialize, do that, have a bigger friend group so then you have a more outreach of women. If you do those three things, you're most likely going to be able to get into a relationship. And they're
True.
quite simple things. So that's why I
Yeah.
feel the red pill community is quite helpful.
Well, yes, but you can also get the same advice from a self-help book you got 50 years ago.
Yeah, but that doesn't see the problem
And
with
those
that
were
is they
predominantly bought by males.
yeah, but the problem with those self-help books, it's not like how to be in a relationship. Those self-help books are like how to improve your life. And so people are going to look at them and be like, "Well, I don't know if I don't even know what this book does for me because I'm trying to achieve something else." And you can't read every single book that's ever been written. So obviously they're going to go with the red pill community instead.
No offense, though, but this generation doesn't really read books that often.
Well, we
Well,
know
compared to
that.
watching TV. But yeah, so I don't really think the book argument holds in that premise. But like,
Well, you were the one that
my
brought up the self-help book. So I'm just saying that
yeah,
even if it does help you get women, I don't think people are going to read it to get women. I think people are going to read it to whatever it was designed to do, just help yourself, right?
Well, yeah,
That's like saying read Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules of Life and you'll be in a relationship. It's like, no, I don't think people are reading it for that. I think people are reading it to improve their life.
yeah, yeah. But in general, if you want to get into a relationship, you have to improve your life, right?
And that's
And if
what
you're
the
trying to,
rental community tries
you
to
can't,
do.
yeah, but you can't jump steps, and
Okay,
that's what some of them try to do.
what steps are being jumped by saying you need status, so you need to get a job with money, you need to work out and eat right, and you need to socialize with women? Where's the skip step there?
The support anchor.
What is the support anchor?
For you to develop a habit, usually you need someone to help you enforce the habit.
I wouldn't
Not
say
many,
so.
I don't know. I don't know. Many people have
Unless you're
weak
like a drug addict
will.
trying to recover, I wouldn't say you need to go to like rehab or something to
I don't
break a
know, man.
habit or
Like
build a new one.
it depends, like on what the guy's schedule is. First of all, right? If he's working a shitty 9 to 5, and then he has to come back and eat some shitty McDonald's, so he's overweight. It's gonna take some help for him to like break out of the cycle.
Okay, would you say the majority of men have the capability to improve their life on their own?
Yeah, some do, some do. I wouldn't say the majority.
So,
I think it's a case by case basis, though. It's a broad question.
okay, I would say the majority of people have the capability to improve their life on their own. Now, is it
Well,
harder
they
for
have
some?
the
Yeah,
ability. Yeah.
but I still think people can improve their life on their own. I
Well, yeah, yeah,
trust people's personal
definitely,
responsibility enough.
definitely. I think so. But again, you know what helps the most though?
What?
Family or relatives, really.
Yeah,
For those without one, though, that's going to be even harder. I would say.
I agree. Yeah, but
So I don't know. Like not many great men were made from the groundwork by himself.
well, yeah, I
Most of
don't
them
believe
will
anyone
have
is
people to support
self-made
them.
out there. I don't believe anyone is
Yeah,
self-made. So
yeah.
I'll get that straight.
That's yeah. That's something I like to avoid greatly.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I still think the majority of like your success has to come from you doing it.
Well, yeah, yeah. That's true. You have to put in the work, right?
Yeah,
But
just like you can be
just a
born
little
rich,
compliment can go a long way, though, for like a
but
person.
you can be born rich and not ever be successful because you never like I don't know pursued anything afterwards. Like that's really what it comes down to, in my opinion.
True. That is true. That is personal laziness, or I guess virtue, right?
Yeah, it
I
really
guess that's
depends
what
on the
this
person's
generation
willpower
lacks.
to improve. That's what it depends
Yeah.
on.
Then my argument is on a case by case basis. It differs between people, and when you have low self esteem, what do you have? Low willpower,
Yeah, but I
right?
don't think everyone who's a virgin has low self-esteem.
Yeah, yeah. If they're asexual, I don't know. I don't know about like yeah, yeah. If you're a virgin, you can have high self esteem. I agree. But like again, it depends on what type of relationships they have. They can have great relationships and be a virgin.
Hmm. So to get back to the red pill argument, you don't see them as valuable.
Yeah, I don't really see many of the big organizations as valuable, to be honest.
And your way of improving people is better than the red pill community.
No, I don't know. Like, I just think therapy would probably help, just based on like the mental health statistics.
So let me ask you this: what is the therapist going to ask the lonely virgin? What are they going to ask to help him get a girl?
Let's see. They will probably like talk to him a little bit more, you know. Just that bit of socialization will help a long way. He'll express his feelings and whatnot. I'm not a bloody therapist, so I don't know. But I know, I know by seeing how therapy works, right? It improves people's confidence by like a large margin.
Yeah, but you have to think about this, right? So when it comes to therapy, you're trying to improve a problem someone has, like depression, anxiety, whatever. But let's say
Yes.
someone's a lonely virgin and doesn't have any of those problems. Are you still going to say for them, oh, go to therapy or listen to someone who is like in the red pill community?
They can listen to the guy in the red pill community. They can take the basic steps of advice, but if you venture down further into the subreddits, right, where they try to say like women are this and that, I don't think that'd be healthy.
What are they saying that
And
you like dislike?
that's my biggest qualm, maybe.
What are you saying that they dislike?
If you go further into the red pill community, you can get like a straight up incel.
Yeah, I think you could do that
Yes.
in a lot of communities, though.
Yeah, yeah, you can have a female incel too with the feminist community. You can, many communities have the radicals, and I think any like group. My problem with any group is the radicalization.
Yeah, but that's every group, right? Every group has radicalization. You're never
Oh
going to
yeah,
immediately
you can have
eliminate it.
yeah, yeah. But in this specific case, people are going to be more vulnerable because they're looking for help.
I agree. But I guess to get back to the question of if there was someone who was a lonely virgin and didn't have any mental health problems, you would still say to them to either go to therapy or, hey, you should probably maybe listen to the red pill guys that have done something.
Yeah, yeah. If the guy's successful and he's seemingly doing okay, yeah, listen to him. I mean, it's not uncommon for a guy to look successful on the outside of the internet, right? And then you go into him, he's a steaming fraud.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I think
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
yeah, I think what I would say to that is, it really comes down to what the red pill guy is saying. But I am someone who is just saying for them, like if we're just looking at the basic points here, not the radical points, I think they're saying some really good things. I don't think that anyone can argue with the three main points they give, which is like get status, work out, and socialize. To me, that's like the
Yeah,
three best things
I
you should
agree.
do.
Yeah, like currently I'm going to be start training for track and field, right? And in order for me to do that, I have to run 3 miles a day. Currently, I
Hmm.
usually run 2, so I'm going to have to up the mileage. That's going
Yeah.
to take something called willpower.
Yep.
So when you achieve something, it increases confidence. So if those three main points help them achieve confidence, I think it's good. But if they venture deeper into the community, I think it can be a kryptonite to that.
I think it could, but I guess I have a little bit more of a view of like for most people not getting radicalized. Because when I think about people getting radicalized, it's probably a smaller group of people than like per se the majority of people. I don't think the majority of the red pill community is going to become radicalized, but I will agree that probably a small percentage of them will.
Yeah, 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 definitely. People's brains are wired differently, so those people can have like more of a, I guess, vulnerability when it comes to actually getting indoctrinated into certain groups like this. And also could be experienced from past trauma and whatnot. But what I don't really understand though is why we would like, I guess, trust a organization with something as important as a socialization, right, of young males. Because you can't like just boil down those three main points to the red pills in general. I've seen these advices been given far before the red pill community. It was
Hmm.
common sense back in the day, right? And the biggest problem in our generation, our parents didn't really teach us those values. So now we've lost those values almost.
So is this like our parents' fault, you would say?
Yeah, generational, no problem, I guess.
Really? I wouldn't go that far to say it's our parents'
I
fault
don't
for
know.
not. Um,
I wouldn't say like it's the parents' fault, but I'd just say like I don't know, it could be a generational problem.
I think it's more of a just societal problem of how we live today versus like, how we lived previously.
Oh yeah,
We don't interact face to face like more than ever basically now, right? Like I don't think we do at least.
I'd say true. I don't know. I just view these groups as both kind of. I don't know. I just view it as childish because it's like, oh, you're either blue pilled or red pilled. You got to pick one. And I was like, I just kind of said no to that.
So you don't even want to adopt like the beliefs of like the red pill, blue pill, black pill, white pill community, basically.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Because at the end of the day, to me, it's just like a power game.
Hmm.
That's what I find most organizations and organization leaders do. or any, like, I guess, co-figure or head of a organization, really. Of course, you can have saints occasionally, but that's rare.
Yeah. So I don't think we're going to come to a sort of like agreement on the red pill community. I mean, I see the value in them, even though I will agree that a lot of their takes are quite hyperbolic or at least framed that way. But I think if you actually listen to their arguments about like what you need to do to be in a relationship, they're probably right. But you know,
Yeah,
they're just trying to help you play the game society is in right now. You know, because if society was built in a different way and you had to play a different game, obviously they would be playing that game or be playing into it. But yeah, they're obviously trying to play
yeah,
into
true.
the game right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah.
like you can
I,
hate the
I kind
system,
of
but
want
you can't change it.
to.
It's hard to change the system right now.
Well, yeah, yeah. But what breeds change? Hate. Or I guess emotion really
Um,
does.
I mean, I think a lot of things can help the change,
Yeah.
but I think it just comes down to that. We live in a system right now. The red pillars out there, I think, are playing into that system and trying to teach you how to play that system. Can that system change in the future? Of course. And then like the red pill community would have to change, or they would be like irrelevant.
True. Well, I do find like funny about these organizations though is some of them are just failing to adapt to a new generation.
Oh yeah, a lot
Um,
are.
yeah, I'm looking at you, fourth wave feminism, but yeah,
Yeah. Modern conservative party in the United States.
yeah, modern conservatism. I guess new liberalism, kind of. I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that left appeals to young people. It's just I think they're getting a little bit too hyperbolic with some things. That's all I would say.
I had to debate a 10-year-old over communism.
Oh, that's interesting. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, I guess we could put the red pill in the that topic to rest.